yeah. Really, you're holding very tight on that road and bridge. But the nice thing is you got a lot of money set aside in that special road improvement fund. And so the fact that you're so tight doesn't concern me.
Motor graders are terrible expensive. We've been spending a lot of money on repairs on equipment the last few years.
Equipment's getting old. Our equipment's getting old. Or on the other hand, we know it's being used.
Or abused.
You're just sassy.
If we decided we wanted to get closer to the revenue neutral rate, we could do that at the end of August and pull some out of the 520,
We're all
correct?
entitled to our days.
Yeah.
That's what you're saying?
Yep.
So we have time to
Yeah.
figure, okay. So I'm good with it right now.
Okay. Well, I'll go ahead and get her finished up that way.
Well, thank you.
Thank you for coming out.
Your services probably went down, didn't they?
What's that?
Your services probably went down, so.
Yeah,
Is that the new then?
I got that tied to inflation. I have for many years.
That's our valuation this year.
And I'll tell you, this computer stuff is, you know, it
But that
used to
number
be,
will
oh,
change.
you just raise the computer every now and then.
Right, but
It's
that
not the
number will
computers,
change if
it's
we
the software
decide to pull out of the 520.
And the cost of,
But it also get us an in because we don't have as much safety net.
all the protections and stuff that
Okay.
you've gotta put on
You
things.
can't believe the checks we write every month for just protection.
Yeah,
It's
Oh.
scary.
a year ago in my office alone, besides our other offices, it was right at $50,000 for IT specialists, outside IT specialists. And so, but someday I'm gonna have to start calculating in that my cost of, because that's way exceeding inflationary. So, okay, I'll get her finished up for you.
Thank you.
Hey, John, we were having a conversation in regards to budgets and line items and such. And, you know, we've always been of the thought that a line item is for a reason, and that's where the expenses should come from, you know, like personnel from personnel, et cetera, and whatnot. But there's a theory out there that it doesn't matter what the line item is, you can just spend it.
The total budgeted amount.
Yeah, the total budgeted amount, and that just goes against everything I thought it was, the way in which it was supposed to work. Why is there that thought out there?
I don't know what to tell you on that.
Because we've always told, you know, like departments that if you are running out of money in personnel, but you've got it in another line item, to do a budget transfer from that line item to the other so that it, you know, you can follow the money.
Yeah, yeah. That, that seems logical. And you can move by noting it in the commissioner's minutes that, let's say, for instance, excuse noxious weed, for instance. And he's running over on commodities, which can be used chemical, but he's saying his contractual services are down. and he's,
It's pretty good.
they could increase the contractual and decrease the, or increase the commodities and decrease the contractual, as I noted it
That's what's
in
gonna
the
go back
minutes.
In the minutes?
As long as
I know.
the total.
If we were to say,
Okay, so, but,
I don't know.
so the way that we've been handling
You've
it,
had to do a
where
few of
the
those
line
meetings
item is for the line item. And so if you're gonna be using a different line item for because you're running out on the other line.
Shouldn't.
You should either have commissioner action in the minutes or do a budget transfer.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
You really ought to. You definitely shouldn't be, oh, well, I'm out of something that I didn't have budgeted, let's just charge that to this. That sh-
Okay.
That should not be done.
Okay, that's the answer I
Okay,
needed.
Okay.
And I don't know that we're doing that.
We need
Like
to.
if somebody's personnel line item, like their, is higher than their, what they've budgeted for, they're just shortening their commodities or something else to make up for it. It's still all getting expensed out of personnel. So their personnel is negative, like they've overspent their budget in personnel, but they've underspent their budget elsewhere.
Somewhere else.
So that their overall budget is the same, so we're not, Travis and Brian didn't want me to do those transfers as long as their overall budget was,
Which, that's legal. yeah.
It's legal, but it just,
But then that's up to whether the commissioners are trying to get your people to hold within individual lines.
so then they're supposed to, the next budget
The-
adjust.
The reason that I was hesitant to give you a good answer is I had a county a number of years ago that the county treasurer came in and gave, first of the year, gave her department big increases. And the county commissioner says, you can't do that. This is all you budgeted, that's what you give us to, and when we did our budget for personal services, and so we're not approving that because it's gonna exceed the personal service line in the budget. The county commissioners got sued and lost. And basically the court came back and says, okay, well, they had in $30,000 for equipment, but as long as the total treasurer's office was in line, commissioners cannot, because it was elected official that did it, their authority is to hold them to the total for that department, not the individual line items. Now, I've got a situation in another county that they had some problems with a former clerk, and anyway, that theory is what I said, well, it's elected official, you know, they've got the right to do. The county attorney found, with the assistance of the Attorney General's office, some Attorney General's opinions that went contrary to the court decision. So you've got it both ways.
I don't know. I mean, the county attorneys are having discussions
Yeah.
and in regards to this, because all of us are, you know, when you're dealing with taxpayer money, you still want to be able to follow that bouncing ball.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, if this is what you've budgeted for personnel, then that should be personnel. And if you go over, then you better make it perfectly clear what line item that, but that's just,
Well, and the problem with what Travis and
Brian.
Brian say is there's people were short in personnel, but they were fine overall. They come in the next year, they're just asking for more personnel. They're not cutting anything.
right.
That's the problem.
I've not been too enthusiastic about Attorney General's opinion since a number of years ago, and it wasn't anybody I worked with, but there was Attorney General opinion that said you cannot do landfill out of general fund. There was also Attorney General opinion in the same year, within 3 months, by a different associate, but saying that you could. So two opinions within 3 months, it was absolutely opposite of each other, so.
Hence opinion.
so that's the reason I've never went real high on my thought is the court case. And that court case was with one county I worked with, so.
Yeah, well, I don't know, like I said, dealing with taxpayer money, just want the transparency of what's going on.
Yeah.
It's just my opinion.
Yeah. thanks for coming out. See you though.
Scary, the whole county's on that little thing you're putting in your car.
Yeah, I do. I'm even carrying a backup computer.
You are.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago, I got before some county commissioners and it locked up on me.
Oh,
And so we went through it manually.
oh boy.
And then I ended up coming back the next week and I got me a new computer. So in the meantime, I worked on my old one, but I thought, now it's time to have a new one.
Yeah,
So I'm carrying them both.
there you go.
And so this is the first time I've used this. And then you see I back it up again on that.
Yep.
And so,
Better safe than sorry.
yeah. Then back when first, I remember that computer was portable, but it was about pretty good size. And anyway, when I got done, I backed it up on a little flash drive and headed home, and fired it up, and it wouldn't fire up. And boy, I was so glad I had it backed up on that little flash drive.
I had an old friend that was an attorney, and he probably had one of the first computers ever. And that thing almost filled the basement of his office.
Oh.
It was huge,
Yeah,
huge.
yeah. And those things went down in value very quickly.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember ever seeing that down in his basement?
We were fascinated with the Xerox machine. And Jim would get mad at us.
Okay.
Thank you, thanks for
Take care.
coming out.
Thank you.
Do you guys have anything else?
Motion to adjourn.
It's been moved and seconded to adjourn. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.